Hey, welcome back to Heart and Soul TV. So I don't have to tell you, Judge Karen here is smart, she's sassy, she's accomplished.
And she delivers a dose of supreme justice with compassion, no matter the case. So let's take a look.
Are you willing to apologize? Because it just seems to me that even if you were thinking about the money, the first thing out of your mouth should have been the money. The first thing out of your mouth should have been, man, are you all right? I know this is the 25th time that Jennifer's left you, but are you all right? Are you going to make it? Did you say that to him? Yeah, did you say it to him?
No, I was pretty...
Me.
When you laying on your dying bed, you're not going to be saying, boy, I wish I had gotten twice that money from him. You're going to be saying, I never did make up with my friend Jason.
You're right.
And that we're not friends now over $435.
Wow,
Yes,
see,
ma'am.
she delivered that with a killer punch right there. And you know, she's also the author of Stay in Your Lane, Judge Karen's Guide to Living Your Best Life. And we're thankful that you are here with us. Hello, you're a
Co-hosting all
so
day in that
blessed.
fabulous dress.
I'm so blessed to be here with you girls.
We're blessed to have you,
Thank
seriously.
you so
Very
much.
excited about it. So let's talk about you, okay? Starting from, I guess, the beginning, before the TV show, before the book, you worked in the public defender's office, Miami for 13 years, and then achieved a major milestone in 2000. Want to break that down for
Well,
everybody?
you know, I made a decision. I looked at the judiciary in Miami, and I realized that there was one black woman on the bench, and she was the only black woman on the bench, although blacks make up 17% of the population of Dade County. There was only one black woman out of 150 judges.
Wow.
And so I decided to run for a judgeship. And there were so many people that told me, oh, you can never win, you don't really have a name. I didn't get a lot of support. But I believe when you have faith and you have family that support you, you can accomplish anything you want to accomplish. And of course, I won my race. And I ran against the chief administrative judge who had sat for 24 years in my town.
My.
So I'm here to tell
So
you,
you really
if you put your
won.
mind to something, you can do it.
I like that, because a lot of people see things like, oh, there's only one black woman on that
Right.
platform, but they don't think to make themselves the next one, or you know, to
Exactly.
fill that
go
gap.
for that
yeah.
part.
Or believe that they can do it. You know what? Half the battle is believing that you can do it.
Right.
And I think as black women, we have a hard problem with believing that because, and even, you know, as minority women,
Yeah.
is that you believe that there is a limitation.
Yes.
There's only so much of the pie.
Right. I
For
can only
me,
go so far.
The
Right.
universe is infinite. You know, the
Sky was your limit.
Whoever put us on this earth gave us everything and then some, and it's out there for all of us. That's how I feel.
Well, you
love that.
definitely saw yourself there. You conquered that. And your mission the whole time has remained the same. It's been to empower women and to inspire children. So tell us a little bit about that.
I work a lot with children in the foster care system. I was a foster mother when I was 27 years old.
Wow.
Just a couple of years ago. And
We can tell, honey. We can.
so I learned then that there's so many children, you know, over 250,000 children in the foster care system that don't have a home. Most children in foster care are minority children.
Right.
Wow.
And so there's a lot that we can do. And we had the little segment earlier talking about being in the beauty salon
Yes,
on Saturday afternoon.
all day.
We could be fostering kids.
Yeah, I like that, because a lot of people don't know that they can do it. It's, for some reason, it seems
Right.
like there's some barrier between us and actually taking in a foster child. But
Right.
if people do have that stigma in their mind, what are,
Right.
I guess, some ideas you have for them to take that step to do so?
To
adopt.
take in foster children.
Oh my goodness, they're begging for folks out there to take in foster kids. The problem is that most people who take in foster children are doing it for the money. You know, they're not doing it from their heart. And anything that you do for money alone is ultimately not a good thing. Whether
Right.
it's business or being a foster parent or anything, getting married. If it's for money, it's not a good thing ultimately. You have to want to help people. And I mean, you go to the local Children and Family Services office and you put in an application, they do a background check. At the time I became a foster mother, I was an attorney, but they still did a very
still needed
extensive background check.
You're like, excuse me, do you know who I am?
Exactly. I gotta go through this
Do you know who I am?
Have you seen me on TV?
Right, and I wonder how do these
fine.
children end up in bad foster homes with this type of background check?
Yeah.
But they do a background check, and then they try to match you with children you want a baby or you want a teenager or whatever. They try to match you with children in need. Right now, I work with children who've aged out of foster care.
Oh,
wow. Most people don't think about that.
No,
when you
because
turn
after they
18,
grow up, they're like, fine,
it's basically over. And these girls, and it's mostly girls that I work with, these girls still need mothering. I mean, when I was 25 years old, I remember I had to move back in with my mama. Okay? But when you're a foster child, you don't have mama to move back in with.
Yeah, but you need that guidance still.
Yeah,
You need
do.
it for most of your life, really. I think you need that type of guidance, and they're not getting it. So there's a lot we, as professional women, can do to help others. I think when we start working on things like that, other things just start happening in our lives.
Yeah.
The man comes.
Yes.
The right job
She just
comes.
blessed me. Did you
I
read
know,
that?
that's true.
She put that in my direction.
Right, I know. And the
Catch your blessing. Thank you, Jesus. And thanks. I receive that. Bless his holy name. I know I'm goofing off on TV, but a lot of people know you from TV too.
Yes.
Okay, my smooth transition here. How did you actually go from just being a judge to being a judge on television and now a household name? How did that happen?
So many of the judges on TV came from Miami.
Really?
So many. It must be something to do with the water. And when one judge, Judge David Young, got a show in 2008, I think, I saw him in the parking lot of the building, and I said, everybody's getting a show. When am I going to be discovered?
When's my time?
When's my time? I knew it was coming. That's another thing. You got to know your blessing is
you have to
coming.
see it.
I didn't have an agent. I wasn't out there looking, but in my heart and mind, I knew that one day I was going to have a show on TV. And he went to talk to his people at Sony. I didn't ask him to. Next thing I know, I got a phone call asking me to come to New York to audition for a court show.
I love
There were
that.
7 judges auditioning. I never saw them, but I knew I was going to be the one they chose.
Yes,
That's
and they did, and we're so
amazing.
happy that they did.
Absolutely.
Really great.
So, and you also have a book now. So, Stay in Your Lane. It came about from all the broken people that you've worked with and that you've seen come through your courtroom. So,
I love Stay in Your Lane. I say that
Absolutely.
all
Right.
the
Stay
time.
in your lane. Life
Stay in
would
your
be
lane.
smoother for all of us if everybody just stayed in their own
Yes,
lane.
yeah.
Right? Let me do what I do, you do what you do, and then we're
it's
both going to
fine.
be happy.
We won't crash.
Yeah, we shouldn't crash, right?
right.
Right. I like the driving analogies, because like you can always make a U-turn.
Yes. back,
It's
try
not
again.
never really the end of the road.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But yes, I meet a lot of people who ask my advice. Constantly. I was asked advice this morning when I got here. So I meet
How do
people
you look
all
so
the time.
fabulous?
Right.
That was my question.
And so that's why I wrote the book. It was because it's sort of a how-to book, a help book.
I like that because we need help. And you give 5 major tips, right, in your book, and one of them being the past and weaving your way out of the traffic jam, I guess, kind of thing.
I think most of us are getting in our own way because we haven't grown up. And what I mean by growing up is that we haven't let go of the past. I give a little story about something that happened to me where I was afraid when I first became a lawyer to go to this big lawyer event because I had this old beat up raggedy car.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I wanted
People
to
are
go to
gonna
this
judge you.
event. They're
You're
going to
thinking.
judge me by this. But I had been very poor as a child, and I was judged by that as a child. And I think I was carrying 6-year-old Karen to that event with me.
Oh, wow.
But I had fought, clawed, and nailed to become a lawyer. And I said, you know what, if I don't have a right to be here, I'll never have a right to be here. And I walked in there and
here
never
she
looked
is.
back.
She
drove her car right through.
Drove my raggedy car right up to the door.
yeah.
To
I
valet
like that
parking.
sometimes. And more of those tips are in her book. Make sure you guys get that. Stay in your lane, she says. We've got the color of 2014 coming up next on Heart and Soul. Don't go anywhere. Judge Karen isn't either.
Yeah, if you're watching Heart and Soul.